All right, y'all. Hey, y'all. So anyway, let's talk. So I was getting ready for bed and I said, stop and video. And see, this is part of the problem with me in videoing is because I just do it when I just get this moment. And there was a time pre-pandemic where I was doing a video. I made sure, I stopped and put on my makeup and everything. And the pandemic just, I don't know, it's something about the pandemic got me in this space where I think it was because there was so much of it just, just hanging out and feel, being at home and worrying less about that because we were all at home and it wasn't like I got out of that mode and I ain't been back in that mode. And it's like I feel like I'm not as, I be looking at people, I'm like, look at how beautiful they looking, so polished, and then I get on in a scarf and braids in my head ready for bed. So there's gonna be a moment when I start doing it again. I don't know when, but hopefully there'll be a moment. Whew. So anyway, I'm talking about fall fragrances. And because you know what, is it like a switch? It's like a switch hits when the seasons change on YouTube and on social media with content creators. It's like all of a sudden we hit a switch hits and it's like, get them list out. Get them list out. So then we start pumping out the list and you see 50,000 fall fragrances. You see the winter ones. You see this. You see, and I'm telling you, it's like a switch, and we all hear it click, and then we like, "Hi, welcome to this." So this is gonna be kind of unedited because it is the middle of the night. I don't feel like editing. We're just gonna roll with this, okay? So we're gonna talk about my OG fall fragrances because I always start out every season when I talk about fragrances with my new stuff. And there's usually these fragrances that you've purchased. And for me, because I am a seasonal fragrance user, I know people are like, you can wear whatever you want when you want. And that's fine. I like to wear mine like that. Okay. And so for me, I might get some things to be like, ooh, this is going to be good then, as opposed to now. So I'm always having something that I'm like thinking about, but haven't gotten to. So those are the ones that I'm excited because they're newer that I have. But whenever fall comes, you got to have your OGs. You got to have some OGs that just make you think, yes, it's fall. Yes, it's that time of year. And these are my OGs that when it starts getting cool out, I'm like, at some point I'm gonna wear them at least once or twice. So, and living in some place like Chicago, we have a long cool season, cold weather season, much longer than warm. So these, you got time. You got time to, wear these things. So we're going to start out with this one. This is one. This is Lavanda's Trianon. Now I have a few from the Maison Lancome collection that fit into this, but Lavanda's Trianon is like the real comfy, cozy. I don't even like lavender fragrances that much, but I love this one. That whole lavender, milky, sweet, milky vibe is so cozy. This screams sweaters. This screams turtlenecks. This screams, just cuddly, cozy. Love Lavanda's Trianon. I have to wear it at some point during the season. I have to. It just has to come out. I'm just saying. It just has to come out. Now, I already talked about La Maison de la Vanille and my underrated vanillas. And have you seen that video yet? Have you seen it? If you haven't, you need to go watch the new series. But this is Vanille Fleur de Tahiti. This is another one from the brand. Now, these are eau de toilettes, but they last about 5 or 6 with a good overspray. But I say this all the time, is that I'm not of the fragrances have to last 15 hours for it to be a good fragrance. I think that's ridiculous. I think it's this whole little bullshit that people put out there and act like a fragrance isn't a good fragrance if it doesn't. If you get a good 5 or 6 hours, that's enough. Spray it again. Spray it again. Okay. But anyway, this is the one my students used to tell me I smell like a cookie. You smell like baked cookies. So I love it. And it always reminds me of one of my students. He used to always say that, Miss Calumet, you smell like a cookie. He was such a sweet boy. And I'm so glad he left my school because they were bullying him. These kids are terrible. But anyway, so it's Vanille Fleur de Tahiti. Like I said, if you are a vanilla lover and you want to have some different vibes on vanillas, this is a really good brand because they have different styles of vanillas. So you have something different for, whenever you want to. So that's Vanille Fleur de Tahiti. And this right here. This is Liquid Amber by Aubusson. I know I talked about this in my affordable fall fragrances, and I always pull it out because I think this is one of the just spicy ambers. This is so incredibly good. No one talks about it. No one knows about it. I've never even heard men talk about this. And this is marketed as a men's fragrance, and they are sleeping on this. And this is such a good spicy amber. This is one of the best spicy ambers out there. If you have it, put it in. It leans a little masculine, but if it leans a little masculine too, you just go and throw some vanilla body or body cream on, you good. If you have this, talk about it put it in the comments. All right. So that's that. Yeah. So yeah. So part of I'm going to talk about is things I just don't do. You won't see on my channel. One of them is transition videos. Now let me tell you something. It's as a person who creates content, the reason why you all don't see a lot of fragrance reviews is because people don't watch them. Y'all don't watch fragrance reviews. You really don't watch them. So it's like it doesn't help you from the algorithm standpoint to do that. But people love lists. And I think I was trying to figure out why. And I think it's because if a person's going to watch something that's like 15 minutes long, something like that, they want a lot of variety. They want a lot of variety involved. So they can see, so they learn about a few things as opposed to one thing and all this stuff. And to be quite honest, I don't do reviews because I ain't that person, y'all. I don't see myself as a reviewer. I say this all the time. I'm telling you about the fragrances and what I think about them. That doesn't make me a reviewer. That doesn't mean you need to listen to what I said. I'm just telling you how I think. Okay? So that's that. So with that, you will not see transition fragrances because from transitional fragrances, I know it's a thing, but it ain't a thing for me. And, and let me tell you why. Because I live in Chicago and we have very distinctive seasons. And so for me, it's still warm outside and I'm going to enjoy the warmth and I'm going to wear things that are still warm weatherish right now. Now, maybe I might not wear, my most tropical smelling. I might still though. And the thing is that for me, it's fall. I'm not thinking about, oh, well, it's getting like this. No, when the temperature drops, it drops and we're in fall. So now this is like they say Indian summer. It's still warm outside. We're not getting super cold. We might get into the 50s at night, but I'm okay with that because when I get up and leave, it ain't bad. I think of fall like in the 40s and things. And so when we start waking up and it's in the 40s and the high is only going to be in the 50s, that's fall to me. And so I don't think transition. I'm just wearing things that kind of warmish weather. I'm still going to enjoy them. So you could think some of these you could think of as transition. I don't know, because I just think fall fragrances. So, yeah, I said all that to say, don't look for no transition video from me. Now, let's talk about this one. This is Sunshine Woman. Interestingly enough, I hear a lot of people say Sunshine Woman and they talk about it for spring and summertime, but this is not a spring and summertime fragrance to me. This is fall. This smells like an apricot pastry. And I think of stone fruits, especially apricot, plum, cherries. I think of them as fall and winter fragrances because they're usually a little heavier, they're a little warmer, and that's exactly what this is. This has warmth to it, kind of that I think it's got a suede note in it. It just really reads as something that I would want to wear to like a pumpkin patch or an apple orchard. No, actually, I wouldn't wear this to apple orchard. I would wear la danza de la. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But this is like, I would wear this to like a wine festival. There's a couple of wine festivals coming up that I want to go to. But you have to go to a really good wine festival because I went to like the worst wine festival ever last year. Because it wasn't with wineries. It was like they just caught themselves getting a wine festival. And they pretty much had just wine companies, like the bigger ones, and they had temp people working there. So like if you go to a really good wine festivals, it's the wineries. And so they're there, they're telling you about their wines. They're invested in their merchandise. So they're really there and they're really telling you, you get to meet them, you get to taste them, and if you like them, you can buy them. This was like the most cheesy shit ever. So annoying. Now there's a big one with real wineries, so I really want to go to that. Was it this weekend? I need to check on that because I might need to be going drink some wine on Saturday. Okay, but anyway, this is Sunshine Woman by MOI Sunshine Woman. If you had this or you've tried it, let me know what you think. It is a classic. She's a classic. She's a classic. All right, so that's MOI Sunshine Woman. Then we have this. This is Amaru's Golden Oud. I think Amaru's a really underrated fragrance house. They have some really good ones. I only have two right now. There's a few more that I want to get. But this is a caramel oud. Now, we know I'm really not a caramel fan right now. But I do like this one. I'm going to see if I still like it because like I said, my taste have changed a little bit. So we're going to see how I feel because this has been like one of my fall fragrance, loves because it's like this really, I love a good oud that isn't a rose oud. I love rose oud combinations, but I also like to find different iterations of oud that don't necessarily lean into the rose, and this is one. So this is a more caramely, this is definitely a gourmand oud. So if you like gourmands and you want to do a oud, this is it because this oud is smooth, baby. It's a smooth oud. It's not skanky, it's not harsh, it's a smooth, well blended oud. So this is Amaru's Golden Oud. Another thing, so as we're going through these, I really am off of the affordable Middle Easterns. And the reason why I say that is because Amouage is a Middle Eastern brand. Ani's a Middle Eastern, Nishane's Ani. Nishane's a Middle Eastern brand. But I'm really off of those affordable ones. The Latafas, the Fragrance Worlds, the Paris Corners, all of that. And the reason why is two things: money and space. Listen, I know it's trendy, I know it's popular, and I know everybody's like jumping on it. And if you put out a Middle Eastern video, people gonna watch it. But I can't justify spending that money and then also dealing with the space issues. Because see, let's just be honest, you can't keep all them damn Middle Easterns. And eventually you declutter them. So it's like, I don't like to be in the cycle of having to declutter. Now, of course, decluttering is a genre in itself and people do like to watch the declutters, but I'm sorry, if I see you talking about 50,000 Middle Easterns and then you got to declutter them all, then I got to declutter them all. It's just not good because then you got to sell them, then you got to get rid of them, then you got to send them out. And honestly, in order to sell Middle Easterns and not feel like you doing too you're not making, you're losing money on it all just all over the place, is that they need to buy 2 and 3 at a time, so that you're not sending out individual bottles and you're only charging $20 for them, but it's costing you $7 at least to so then it's like, really, no. So I ain't doing all that, and for that reason. And also, I'm just not, I'm off of that looking at all these dupes, because first off, I'm not buying the originals. And in order for me to say something about a dupe, I really need to know what the original smells like. It's just my thing. And so and then that means I got to try to get samples, and I'm not doing it. That's not my ministry as a person buying and holding on and collecting things. It's just not my ministry, and I'm not going to jump on it and try to do this because it's popular, because then you're stuck, and then once that trend is over, and it's going to be over at some point, then now you gotta find the next trend, and you gotta unload a lot of this stuff, and it takes up a lot of space, and I only have so much space in my cute little pink shelves, and I ain't getting any more. This room cannot support more shelving, so it is what it is, and I'm done with them. And even though it feels like, yeah, people aren't going to watch me, I'm not going to have these big huge numbers on views, so what I'm doing is, the people who are looking and looking for something a little different, you'll find me. And if you don't, oh well. But the people who are here understand this is what you're gonna get. You're not, so please don't ask me, am I trying this? I'm not. I'm not. Even though they can be intriguing to me, and I'm like, oh, they sound good. I'm just not. I've put a line in the sand, and I'm not crossing it. So that's it. I'm just letting y'all know. For real, for real. All right, next up on fall fragrances is Xerjoff's Overture. Now, this is another one that I've heard people, because listen, I listen to people talk about a fragrance that I have. I won't listen to them talk about fragrances I don't have, that I'm thinking about, I'm curious about. I only listen to ones I already have. So, because I like to hear what other people think after I have my own personal opinion. But I hear a lot of people saying, like, this is kind of a summer fragrance, or this is, transitional fragrance, because it's not that heavy. I don't know. My heavy. This is a spicy, ambery vibe, and I love it. And it's a compliment getter, I will say that. So for me, this is a fall fragrance. Fall. Now, I wouldn't say dead of winter, but even then, I've worn it in the wintertime, because when you layer it, you're good. But anyway, this is a spicy amber, got a little florals in it. I really do really like this fragrance. This is one, like, if I'm going someplace, if I have to go someplace, which I don't travel as much as some people pretend like they do. I'm just saying. If I'm traveling in the fall, I definitely have a decan of this, because this is like dinner time, and I'm not saying dinner date, but this is definitely like hanging, this is like friends dinner. If I'm meeting out with people for dinner with some friends, I will wear this, because I love this, and I love it here for dinner. Just hang, if we're going out to dinner or something, gonna go run and have some dinner, definitely Overture. Okay, next up is Nishane's Ani. This spicy vanilla, which is very popular. I'm going to do a popular fragrances that I love and have, like I own and have, because I have some popular fragrances. I don't have like the newest ones, but I always got some. Anyway, oh my goodness. This, when I first got this, I was like, this was my first, like, really spicy vanilla. Oh, this honey took me out, and I love it. It's a green spicy vanilla, because in the beginning you get this greenness, but it's a spicy vanilla. You got like a spicy vanilla with a little sharp greenness. This is a classic. Perfect for everybody. Sexy on everybody. Great for dates. Nishane's Ani. Now, the other thing that I've done is Bath and Body Works. Right now, I'm just trying to use up some, my Bath and Body Works. But I'm really off the. I buy a candle here and there, but I'm really off of the body care. Yeah, I'm over it. I think it became, that's another thing that was becoming too much. It was like, it's so easy to get caught up in Bath and Body Works because the sales are so good and you can buy, you wind up buying like 6, 7 of them. And then and like I got these body mists back there. Y'all see them? I promise y'all, I'm probably going to like finally just say, get rid of them because I am, that's not me. I'm trying to use them more. So I'm trying to figure out, just really start really incorporating them more. But it's like, I'm already doing a lot. And then are you saying I got to throw a body mist on too? Because a lot of times when I'm layering things, it's about the body care. And then it might be an additional fragrance as opposed to a fragrance mist. And I think it's because also I'm trying to like, really use my fragrances up. Because let me tell y'all something. I'm an oversprayer. But some of these people, I get how they're getting these dents now. Because I'm in a Facebook group and they was talking about how they spray. And these people were talking about like 50 plus sprays, 100 sprays. First off, how do you spray yourself 100 times? Do you really count out 100 times? I was like, what? So it's so interesting because I think there's this thing within especially the female fragcom where we want to have big dents, where we want to say we're using up fragrances. And now I think people are just spraying super excessively because I'm already an excessive sprayer at like 15 to 20. I think they're doing that in order to prove that I really love it and I'm getting this big dent in it. And girl, I love it and I've used it up. I'm still trying to stay in a realistic space with my things and still be intentional and use up a few things. And it's a balance and and I have to be honest. I'm not going to use up a lot of fragrances. It just ain't going to happen. Now, if I use it a couple of times and I get some good dents in it, if I'm wearing it for a while okay. But that whole I've had it for 2 weeks and I've already gone through half of it. How did you do this? Is that the only, but you still saying you're wearing other fragrances? But if you spraying, I guess like 50 times, you're gonna get a good dent in it. Cause 50 times is what, close to like 10 mil. And then I guess if you do that 2 or 3 times, okay, there we go. You're gonna get through it. I mean, cause I'm thinking 10 mils is about. Yeah, about 50, 60 sprays, right? So I guess that makes sense because if you spray, because I actually counted somebody spraying themselves. I kid you not. And I was like, damn, that was 35. Okay, so let's keep going. I'm sorry, I got off on a tangent. But anyway, I'm not, Bath and Body Works is done on my channel. Body care, of course, will be talked about, but now I am actually being a little more intentional. I'm not buying as much, so I'm not buying all the brand new body care because I want to really, now that's something I'm trying to focus on and use with intention and then get some empties because body care accumulates and you accumulate it and why do I need like 5 different vanilla lotions? No, let's use these up and then go on to the next vanillas. I'm just saying. Okay, so that's where I am with that. That's where I am. That's where I am. So next up, we're going to talk about a Mancera, and that is Oud Orchid. Oud Orchid is a powerful, beautiful floral because, hey, it can't all be like just, spices and vanillas and stuff. You got to have some florals, and this is a beautiful floral. This is, it just makes me go, but it's a beautiful, well blended, nothing in particular floral. It's like a bouquet of flowers with a little peachiness in it. So this is Oud Orchid. Now this one had a moments, but ain't nobody talking about it anymore. And this is Quinta Canto's Mirabelle. Now can I say, I thought that I knew this was gonna happen because I was like, oh, this is really cute, pretty, this blue velvet. But look, it just attracts everything. And I am not cleaning this. I know some people be like, oh, I gotta clean my bottles. I ain't cleaning bottles like that, y'all. I'm just not. That's not my ministry. So anyway, this is like a Italian, beautiful European vanilla pastry. But now it used to be a lot subtler. It used to be a little more a little more mild. It's been sitting around and I'm smelling it. And if you have Mirabelle, go back and smell it. Because I know a lot of us bought around the same time. The vanilla is really, really intense now. And it's so, but it still has this very creamy, more European pastry, because American pastries can be super sweet. This is not a super sweet vanilla. It's just a very vanilla without all that extra sugar. So this is Mirabelle. So that's Mirabelle. So that's one that I just be like, yes, child, yes, yes, yes. And another one is this. This is, I love a good rose oud, and this has been the girl lately in the last year or two. This is Rose Anonymous. This is the extrait version. There is two different versions. There's one that's in a clear bottle. This is the extrait. In the pinky bottle, get this one if you see it, because this is the more intense. This is, because Atelier Cologne tends to be cologne vibes, where this is an extrait de parfum, so it lasts longer, worth the money more. And this is a gorgeous, gorgeous rose oud. If you are a rose oud lover and this is intensely sexy. This is bad bitch rose oud. This is a bad bitch rose oud. Cause it's what? You not taking no shit when you wearing this. So that is Rose Anonymous. Yeah. So that's another thing. So we've said no transitional fragrances, no transitional videos. We're not going to see any of this. We're not going to see any of that. Now let's talk about, just as a channel, I'm conflicted on this one, but I'm trying to be a little kinder and gentler. I know sometimes I'm not, but I'm trying to. And I think why, because I watched Robes '08 video, and for some of the people who watched it, you know what I'm talking about. I don't ever want to come off like him. I get where he was going with it, with his video about Fragcom, but it was so personal and such an attack on specific YouTubers and talking about them. I don't ever want to be lumped in that kind of vibe, like, I'm a hater person. I'm really not. I tend to look at things and see things, and I talk about them from that. But I can see how people would take that as, oh, you're just jealous or anything like that, because your channel's small and it's not growing. So I'm conflicted, because we know that I talk shit, but I don't want it to be ever seen like I'm coming for specific people, even though I never say names. And I rarely say names, and y'all might say some names, but I try to keep it as good as I can, but sometimes I'm not there. So I think that I'm going to try. I won't say that I'm going to be perfect on this. I'm going to try and be a kinder, gentler LuuLuu when it comes to things like that. Now, I'm going to talk shit on other things, but I think, like, when it comes down to fragcom, I will try to be a lot more kinder and gentler. Because I just don't like that look. Was like, ooh, I want to look like that. So just so you know, that's going on. All right. What other fragrances did I pull out that always mean this time of year to me? Of course, y'all know I love Dream House of Curio, and he's about to come out with another sale. I was going to put some Kai in here, but he's definitely going to get his underrated for fall. And Vincent will too, because these are underrated houses. We know this. But one of I love is Ghost Dance, which is a blackberry oud, and it is so delicious. One of my favorites. And What I always talk about is sugaring. I think I need to get another bottle of this. Yep, I sure do. Okay, sugaring, which is what I always say is a boozy peach cobbler. So this is one of my favorites for fall. Always think about it, want to wear it. And this is one, and I don't know if this is coming back out by Kai. This is Rebirth of Slick. This is smoky plum. It's tobacco-y, it's plum. Oh my goodness, this is good. I'm gonna ask him, is this gonna be coming back out? Because I looked on the site, it wasn't on there, but oh, this is good. So this is Rebirth of Slick, Cool Like That by Kai Fragrances. Plummy, smoky goodness. So that's that. Yeah. And so I think I'm going to stop right there. I have some more out, but this is enough. I think I talked about 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we did 11. So I can call it my top 10 OGs because, listen, when it comes down to YouTube and for people to watch, you got to put like top 10. Top 5, the best of, the greatest, the most important. Oh, and there's another thing that I'm conflicted on. I really don't like to do those most complimented videos. I really don't. I don't know. Something about them just annoy me. And I'd be like, nah, quit, whatever. And here's another one that never mind. I won't even do that one because that's a little snarky. No snark, Louise. You're working on not being snarky. Okay, so anyway, that's it for my OG falls. I have more, of course, but I'm trying to limit myself when I do these things and not pull out 25 and just do 10. Because it's like you can do 10 and 10 won't hurt you. So I hope y'all enjoyed this kind of unedited, rambly conversation with fragrances. See how I multitasked. I put two things together. I don't know if they fit like this, but I did. All right. Thank you all as always for watching. I'm about to go to bed. Be bold, to be brave, be fearless, be free. Talk to you later.